Yes, once again, welcome back to Docs with Phat Cat, where once a week we watch a documentary and we do things and say stuff and talk about it. So this week I had found on Amazon Prime, for anybody out there that got Amazon Prime, watch this because this shit was intense.
Yes.
Called
Yes.
One Child Nation. It's a
Yes.
story about China, who had this policy in place from 1980 to 2015 that you can only have one child. And unfortunate things go fucking crazy from this process. And some people are saying that they saved the country. Other people are saying you fucked up the country. Some people are saying you sold babies. We'll get into all that. But first impression, I just have to say, off the bat, I think it was in like the first 2 minutes of the movie, the woman who made the documentary, her name is Nan Fu, Nanfu. But when she said, becoming a mother felt like giving a birth to my memories, I gasped, took a step back, and yelled bars. Like that is
right.
It felt like giving birth to my own memories. I was like, holy shit.
Like, look at this. This was me.
This was another documentary that we had talked about the Danny Trejo joint. This was another documentary that made me feel
on that caliber. Yeah, on that same caliber. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was a dusty room a little bit.
Yeah.
It was like, man, just the fucking inhumaneness of people, man. It's
bro. Just to even the way she started, you know what I mean? How she was like, at first it didn't mean nothing, you know what I mean? Until like you said, she gave birth. You know what I mean? She leaves, she you know what I mean? Then she leaves, you know what I mean? Comes to the US, then you know what I mean? She sees how the US handles their people. So like, I guess when she came to the US, that was like the reset button for her.
Yeah.
You know, and she's like, oh, so this is how people are supposed to be treated, like, you know.
Right. And her thing was too, didn't she have a brother that she was separated from? Or they were hidden?
Well, no, the brother
didn't have a brother?
No, she had a brother. She did. She had the brother, but
the family. This is what happened. They had a brother, but they had to wait 5 years to have.
That's what it was.
Yes.
Right, because they changed it around. They changed it at some point in the midst.
No. It was okay, but they had to be so long apart for you to be able to have them.
But I think at the beginning of that policy, I don't think that was a thing. It happened later, one time she was born.
For that specific case, her grandfather stopped the guys from sterilizing her grandmother, because that's what it was. Is that off the bat, they came to do the forced sterilization. And the grandfather said no because he wanted a grandson. So that's what happened there. And then they had to pay a fine. They had to apply for permission to the government to have a fucking child, which is like, whoa. You had to apply.
That in itself is fucking crazy.
And then they had to pay a fine on top of it and wait 5 years. Like
now let's just go. Let's just magnify that. That just what you just said. Had to get permission. To their government to have a baby and then pay a fine on top of that. And then wait 5 years. What?
That's organized crime, man.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Because that was the first thing I said when I was watching the very first time I was like, yo, this is a fucking racket.
Right.
It's a fucking racket.
This is a Ponzi scheme if I ever seen one. It's like we're selling people, man. And fucking like
that's not.
That's what it turned into.
That's what it further. Right. But I'm just talking about just of feeling like
Yes.
You got to get rid of people. This is like their prediction of being overcrowded in the population, and that's why they put this policy into place. I mean, we get a little bit of intro into the policy itself. The people of the government of China put it in their people's head that, hey, look, at the rate we're going right now,
let's talk about it.
They're like, we're going to die of starvation. So we're going to have to
let's talk about how they implemented the plan. Let's talk about that. How they had the actual people dressing up in makeup and costumes.
Propaganda.
And you know what I mean? And saying and enforcing the policy in their everyday life.
So
you hear radio, you know what I mean? TV, and not only that, you had banners everywhere you went.
Those are some pretty motherfucking like in your face fucking sayings they have on banners, man.
Oh yeah,
none
of those were nice. None of those.
And it wasn't like a read between the lines kind of.
No. Get to the point right there.
It's like, listen, motherfuckers, you better don't do this shit or this is gonna happen. Like, and just banners and that shit.
If you refuse to be sterilized, you will be arrested. It was like shit like that around the joint, and,
you know
and also turning your neighbor for $120. Like if they're hiding a kid, if they're hiding whatever.
So you can snitch, you be the hood snitch, get paid. You know what I'm saying? You got it made in the shade. You know what I'm saying? And you're living amongst. But that's crazy. That's like I can't. I tried to be devil's advocate and think about it and really try to make it make sense in every shape of the word. Like, but it will make sense only to the people that are just trying to control the economic wealth for the people to get themselves all the gain, and everybody else is just the workers. Everybody's just gonna work under me. I'm gonna reap everything. Yeah, you motherfuckers get the little table scraps, kind of thing.
That's communism. You just described communism, because communism, how it works, there's always someone at the top, even regardless of everyone's gonna get a loaf of bread. But that motherfucker at the top handing out the bread, he's got 6 loaves in the back. And that's the problem with communism, is because there's always going to be someone at the top that fucks up.
They dictate you everything. No, we're going to tell you how much food you can get, how many, what you can have, how many kids you can fucking have. Hello, what we're talking about. You know what I mean? It's like, no, you're allowed 1 fucking kid. If you have 2, we're going to find. So now it's like, because of there's such a bravado fucking testosterone driven culture in China, it's all about the males. You know what I'm saying? So they're scared of their name being lost, so they gotta have men, they gotta have boys. You know what I'm saying? So those motherfuckers will risk it if they got a girl to get a boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, even one thing that the grandfather was saying, where he was talking about, like, I want a boy to continue the name of the family, because when we have girls, they go and marry off and they join another family. We want to keep our family strong and tight, which I understand what he's saying.
True. And it's understandable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the human nature of things, and that is just something that we cannot change. You know what I mean? That's just human. That's just point blank how it goes.
But P, I want to run back to what you were saying about how we were saying propaganda for. I don't think we hammered it home enough that the message of, to be a good citizen, you only have 1 child. It was on matchbooks. It was on playing cards. It was on textbooks,
man.
Posters,
everything.
Songs, movies. This was pumped in your. It was like, yo, you may not like Britney Spears, right? You may not like Britney Spears, but I
great example. Know a
Britney Spears song. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a Britney Spears song.
Hit me one more time, nigga. I hate that bitch.
And so that's what it was, is all they did was just plug in, hey, having 1 is good. You know what I mean? 1 is the right thing. And you guys are doing the right thing because you're helping the nation.
And not only that,
exactly.
They even went to have babies that were young enough to understand talking and that were smart enough to hold the conversation. They had young kids.
Yes. That little kid.
You know what I'm saying? Like they had kids saying
like a nursery rhyme.
Like, yo, like what? Like what?
They had little kids on commercials, and for us, for people, obviously most of our fan base would be American. It was like the Your Brain on Drugs commercials, but they had them all for 1 child policy, where it's like, the 1 child policy is the best. This is what's going to help us out. This is this is the right way to do it. It reminded me of Bible stories, to where I'm like, yo, if our entire life we grew up and we were taught that these Bible stories were real, we'd be like, no, that's how it goes. That's the way it is. Like, even Nanfu was interviewing her mom. Bro, her mom was all about it still. Like, still to this day.
Right.
She's like, that's the right thing. That's what we're supposed to do.
She was a school teacher and all. You know what I'm saying? So imagine.
And it's crazy, because it's a thing with the culture. I've noticed sometimes, just from observation, sometimes they have like a almost like a nervous smiling thing, where it's like, almost looks like, are you smirking in a time like what we're talking about? You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, it's almost like a nervous smile thing. Like,
I feel you, because I feel like she had so much anxiety, because even with me, like when Nanfu's mom was holding her baby, I was almost like, yo, easy with that fucking baby. Like, she was bouncing the shit out of it. And like, I don't have babies, so I don't know how hard you could bounce them. But still, it was like, I feel what you're saying. It was kind of that, like, she's nervous talking. No, everything's fine. It kind of was
right. It's just the smile thing. Like, you see some of them do it, even with the ladies that agreed with it. And she's like, oh, it's You know, and
It was, yeah.
And then they ask her, how did you feel? Did you feel sad? She goes, yeah, I was sad, but it was like the emotion didn't evoke through the face the way it did for the lady who was trying to help out when they were going with all the paperwork and shit. And when I'm diving deep, now that's further down the line with her.
But
you know what I'm saying?
But the thing too is the common answer she was getting. There was nothing we can do.
No,
yeah.
right.
You know what I'm
They all
saying?
felt hopeless.
We can do. Now, another thing that amazed me was, you know what I'm saying, was that, was when she asked him, you know, after everything, you know what I'm saying, how she was asking him, you know, how you felt. Did you think it was good? And like 90 to 95% of them are like, it was policy. How can you know what I mean? Like, how can we have any opinion? How can we have any, you know what I'm saying? How can we feel anything or any other type of way if it was policy was policy and that was that?
And that's why you have this younger generation now that's like, nah, we're going to protest and do what? That's why they run in the streets, man.
They're
because,
wilding out.
You know what I mean? It's like, nah, we tired. That's not our generation. Out, right? You fuck with the wrong generation.
Now check this out. Now just imagine. Let's bring it out. Now let's bring it to us. Let's bring it here to the States, right? Now just imagine during that lifespan, right? 35 years. You feel me? Just everyone everybody in this country couldn't only have one baby, whatever, during that time. Bro, this country will be riddled with old people and nobody to take care of them.
Yes.
And that's what they're probably having. Yeah. Yep. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You got a whole country of nothing but old people.
Yep.
You feel what I'm saying?
But that's a long stretch, bro. 82 to 2015.
35 years, bro.
That's fucking insane. That's a whole generation of that's a generation of generations of single children.
Yep.
Yes.
They don't know like sibling love kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? Almost.
You know, and I'll tell you, I watched a couple because what I like to do is I'll watch, you know, our documentary and then I'll check if there's any ancillary stuff on YouTube. And I watched a couple of TED Talks. Like Non-Food did one TED Talk, and there was a couple other women that did them as well. And they were women that were, I'm a product of this era. It's kind of like the kids this year that will graduate high school in 2020. They'll always have that story to tell. You know what I mean? And obviously, this is much worse than just fucking not being able to walk down a graduation.
That's crazy. That almost feels like that's why a lot of times you see some, not the stereotype, but a lot of times you see when they walk through the city, it's a very blinder. Bro, they're all fucking single kids. It's like you think about it, everybody's single. They don't even have a lot of cousins.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? One cousin per. You know what I mean?
Well, even Nan was saying she was embarrassed to have a brother because she was the outcast. It's like, oh, you have a brother? Oh, but your family is selfish because now you guys are eating more food. And why do you have two when we don't have two? And we're not supposed to have two, and you're only supposed to have one.
Right.
Because that's what's in everybody's head. You're only supposed to have one. Why do you have two? And not questioning like, don't kill people. Don't fucking sell kids off into orphanages. It's why do you have two? You're only supposed to have one. You know what I mean? But because that's all they know. They don't know critical thinking. They don't know to look at stuff and look at it logically. And that's why in every war, all they talk about winning is the hearts and the minds of people. Because once you have them thinking how you want to think, that's it. Like they're not questioning.
They're dangerous.
Yeah, they give a fuck. What, that building that's on fire? You want me to run through that wall? You said it in such a way, I'm going. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm barreling through.
We had a lot of problems against Japan when we was against the war in Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, you talk about kamikazes, man.
Right, exactly. Kamikaze. You know what I'm saying? It was just
suicide bombers, man.
Yeah, like how many kamikaze and suicide bombers are coming from the U.S.? Not many.
Zero. Like in my exactly. I can't say zero, but not a lot. Not a lot.
Yeah. No, but that's a rogue. He going rogue at that point. Anybody's rogue.
Exactly.
If you're kamikaze in this country, it's what that nigga chose to be himself.
Yeah. He's done. He's dead.
Right.
He went. Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So just imagine how, you know what I'm saying? Now we got these old people out here. Nobody's taking care of them. You know what I mean? So now that's how they feeling out there. You know what I mean? So what also was sticking with me was also like nobody's like really doing anything about it either.
It's kind of like
really.
it's so far down the road that they're just like, well, how can I just be one person to stand up and try to stop it? Because if you are that one person, they were talking about, we're going to come, and mind you, when they're talking about sterilizations and abortions, you need to remember that the word forced is in front of this. I'm
Yes,
sure
sir.
some people went, okay, all right, fine, yeah, do it. But they're talking about tying motherfuckers up like pigs, boom, and you just got the vagina there, and now we got to do it while this lady is screaming for her life, trying to escape because you're killing the fucking baby inside of her. And so then people would refuse, and they would just fuck up your house. That's what they were talking. They were like, we'd take their possessions and knock their roof off. They would knock their roof off, dog.
That's fucking right.
Imagine somebody comes to your door, and by the time they're done, you don't have a roof. Like,
somebody raise the roof, nigga, raise the roof. That's
for real.
It's too literal. That's too literal. When we say raise the roof, that's not what the hell we talking about.
So then
seriously,
you see that's what happens to people that try to go against the system, because that's what it is. They're like,
they'll show by force.
That shit to happen to you?
You're talking about a government where those motherfuckers fight each other in their Oval Offices. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They're in their fucking delegate office in their rooms,
fist
the war
fighting.
rooms.
Yeah,
fucking throwing shoes at fist punching each other, throwing shoes and shit. Like, these niggas don't give a fuck, man.
It's barbaric, man. It's a barbaric society.
And it's crazy because, and that's where the higher end people are like that. But for the most part, if you think about it, I had talked to somebody one time that was, she was from China, but she spoke a lot of English. So she was she goes, talking about differences of things. She goes, she said, you got to understand that the Chinese culture, of the Asian culture in general, is usually a more shyer culture. Yeah. You know what I mean? Their mannerisms, they're very quiet and shy, like, you know what I'm saying? Well, as opposed to they're common folk, not like the upper government guys that are, fucking, there's tears of the shit too.
I can tell you like this:
the sociable part of shit. Yeah,
it's school, because in school, Asians, most of them are not even graded until 4th grade. They're literally taught rules and taught how to live for those first couple of years in school. Like, it's literally training for this is how you act as a human being. It's not like 2 + 2 is 4. It's like, yeah, that's there, but they're literally teaching people how to act. It's a
that's crazy. That's crazy.
They're teaching people how to live. And
mannerisms.
Etiquette
classes.
How you were saying, you see most Asians kind of act the same. They're really shy, really polite.
From observation, I'm pretty sure they got wild, but for the most part, in general,
majority of them,
like I said, working downtown before, when I used to see a lot of Chinese groups come in for like tours and shit into like the Yale campus, because it's big down there, and in general, just them together, you could tell it's like it's kind of loud, but it's not. It's almost crazy to have a crowd that big not be that loud. You know what I'm saying? Like, some American badass kids are coming. You know what I mean? It's yelling, screaming, doing dumb shit. It's the mannerisms.
Like
is
the
totally
Asians,
different.
like, you might get a loud laugh. You know what I mean? But you're not gonna have them really disrespect and stuff. But you might have like a bunch of girls giggling together, something like that.
Right. And then you have some of them that are so inquisitive about something that they get intrusive. You know what I mean? Like, they might go up to a nigga and try to touch his hair. Like, oh, hold on, player.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so different and fluffy like cotton. Like, nah, nigga, we're not gonna do that.
Let's tap into the racket though. Let's get into the racket that they had going on.
Real quick, let me just put in one thing, because we're not going to get back to it. The reason that they were able to have the second child is because they lived in a rural area. I forgot that part of it. When you were in the city, you could not have 2 children.
Right. Outside you could.
Have 2. Yeah.
So that's why they had it. But they waited. But they waited 5 years to have them.
They still had to wait 5 years. They still got fined. They still had to fucking, apply for it and all that. But so I just wanted to button that up. But yes, please.
That's crazy.
Fly forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
let's go.
When they got into the whole, so now you got this thing on the hands. Now you're going 20-something, almost 30 years of people not allowed. Now this is not happening because people are obviously still having sex, and you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, and babies are happening. So now we get into this whole deal of people having babies and scared of their government because they hit it and they don't know what to do. So now they get the babies and they have markets and shit where they just leave them in baskets, man, hoping somebody takes them. Babies fucking dying left and right, 2-3 days sitting there, people walking by crying babies, man. That's fucking insane.
Hope. I just want you to really emphasize on that again. I want everyone to just picture that just mentally picture that scene in your mind. A person bringing a baby, a human being, a human being in a basket to a marketplace, meaning where a lot of people are, very crowded, transactions are happening, drops it off on a counter on a market and leaves.
Yeah.
Right.
And to
this
even
is free.
add
This
to
is not
that,
the purchase. This is for free at that point.
and to even add to that, there's a ton of them that nobody comes to even pick up. So imagine everybody knows what a mall is.
Part.
Everybody knows what a mall is, or a farmer's market, or a spot like that where there's or picture a concert where somebody leaves a baby and then the entire concert rolls out, security packs up, the band goes away and everything, and there's still a fucking baby there, and just nobody went over and got
the
it.
shops,
You know?
everything's closing and they're leaving babies there. And what that one lady said, that somebody took her baby, but the baby was sitting there for fucking 2 days. 2 days, man. Newborn sitting there 2 days with no food, no nothing.
Face full of mosquito bites.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
And there was the other gentleman there too that did it, and then he said like he would try to watch from a distance, and he said like nobody ever came and got her, and it was like,
check this out, right? And that was just one part, right? How about the fucking artist that just stumbled upon
that fucked me up? That fucked me up bad. I'm not gonna front,
baby,
man,
bro.
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking kidding me?
He was an artist he liked to paint things. He liked to capture raw elements. So he went to a dump site that they had, you know what I mean, like a landfill kind of dump site where all the people just threw all their shit there. It was a big whatever. And as he was going there, and he witnessed, he saw, and he took, and then when they showed the pictures, man, there was biohazard bags that were busted open,
medical waste bags.
Right, medical waste bags with dead fetuses, man. These dead, fully developed babies, man, tossed in bags, man, that they birthed and killed, and then tossed them in dumps.
Yeah, if we haven't thrown out a warning like this from this point forward, like it gets really, really gruesome in the documentary. So I get if it is too much, please, you know, we're not going to hate anybody for not finishing this, but I will say it gets really ugly.
It does.
And really bad. And the gentleman, like you're saying, the journalist who went out to take pictures of different stuff. And I'll say that's a good spot to take pictures of stuff because like there's a lot of different colors, things like that. And then he accidentally finds like, holy shit. And then he starts looking around and is like,
it's like he's finding a bunch of them.
Yo, if you take a drive down the street looking for a red car, you're going to see a whole bunch of red cars. You know what I mean?
Right.
So then he started looking for all these children and he started fucking finding them. And it was disgusting.
Right.
But
and he was like painting,
kind of gave birth to like, whoa, we're going to, you know, start talking.
And you know what fucked me up? What he said, man? It was like, wow. When he took that out of it, he said, you know what? When he saw these babies and their faces, he goes, they were still innocent looking. He said, some of them had smiles. When he said that shit, and he was like, it's almost like they were smiling on like, I'm happy I didn't make it to this fucked up world. You did me a favor. You know what I'm saying? Almost in a way, like there's some fucked up people out there that just allowed this to happen to me. And I'm glad I'm not around for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because if I was around, you know, who knows what could have happened.
That's a crazy way to look at it,
it's a crazy thing thinking that some of the parents were at least settled in their mind knowing that the baby had passed away in that way, instead of now there's other parents like, I don't know if my baby ever made it. My baby might be alive out there somewhere and they might not be. It's an ill feeling that your baby having passed away and you know that could maybe be a more comfortable feeling than I don't know what the fuck happened to him. For the rest of my life, I just don't know, you know?
Right. And it was that, I believe it was that journalist. Was he the one? I'm trying to remember who was who. Was he the one that started bringing the babies to the? Was he the one that started bringing?
The journalist was the first one to report it.
Yeah, he lost
his job. He lost his job. He lost his job for that shit. Yes,
because he reported it, and he was telling the one that was non-food. I don't want to mess up her name.
Yep.
Is that her name, non-food?
I think so.
You know what?
Check that out for us.
It meant something like where they wanted. It was a boy's name. Because they wanted her to be a boy, but they said, "Okay, you're not a boy, but we want you to have the strength of one." So that's why we're gonna leave.
Yes, it stood for man pillar, because
Yes.
Nan was man and Fu was pillar, so they wanted a strong son.
Strong like a
I
man,
think,
right?
and if by chance we are, I apologize, but we mean it with all respect. Nan Fu.
Yeah. Absolutely. Now.
I mean, listen, her last
now,
name is Wang, and we haven't made that joke yet. So
right.
let's stick with Nan, but, you know, come on.
Yeah.
Right.
So the artist was telling Nan Fu this, and then the journalist she hit up was also telling her that he has like concrete evidence and proof what they were doing. You know what I mean? He has about 8 pieces, he said, or whatever he said. I got 8 pieces of concrete proof on this. You know what I mean?
Yes,
but what can I really do? You know what I mean? Like what? Go to the government with it? I mean, they're the ones that's doing it. So
they're the ones that are doing
right.
it.
Who do you go to? Come to America?
Who do I turn to? You know what I mean? Who do I really turn to do that? You know what I'm saying? And the reason, you know what I'm saying, my bad on being silent, but that shit is too. It hits hard to me. It hits home to me because I imagine, you know what I'm saying, my own children, my own babies, like right. or you know what I'm saying, like just like I just can't imagine. I just can't no, like are you kidding me? Like
it baffles me to have that many people walk through fucking markets and have one out of fucking 600 people give a shit. You know what I mean? Like how many hundreds of people walk through that market before one person decided, let me help out here, let me do something right, or let me try to help this fucking baby that's crying and dying.
Yeah,
sitting in the street, man.
I imagine we can't really wrap our heads around it because it wasn't happening to just one person.
Right.
It was literally happening to everyone. To
the whole country.
If you're is the cop here?
Sorry about that.
No, it's all good. I'm not fucking around. It was a situation where this is happening to absolutely everybody. So it isn't just a solo. It's like literally everyone's dealing with it. So somebody
it becomes acceptable.
Pick up that baby because you can't take them home. If you already have a kid, you can't take that baby home.
Right.
So,
and I bet you there was probably underground. There was probably underground people taking babies in like the shelters and shit. I'm sure, man. You know what I mean? That they would they'll never come to light and say this shit, but they were like smuggling. I guarantee, because it's just to feel like nobody gave a shit like that. I mean,
well, I think it was just, it's a
people
knowledge
scared,
thing. Nobody knew. Everybody was scared. The propaganda was thick. It was like, bro,
force fed. That's fucking sit you in the chair.
If you turn on the radio and every song is about only have one kid, then when you watch TV at night, every fucking movie's about you only have one kid, and this is why you only have one. And it's just
they make it very inviting.
It's in there.
It's like when black people started perming their hair and shit, it was very inviting. Look, you got this nice straight look. You want to look like us? Get this nice straight look going. Get this hot product in your hair. Now everybody got straight hair and shit. Fucking, you know what I mean? Perms and shit. Like, come on, girls, go natural.
Right. And that's why, because I started feeling the same way too. I'm like, yo, why isn't anybody helping? But then I'm like, yeah, this isn't
what
like,
are they gonna
hey,
do?
It's just me. It's they can't.
I know that's such a just being a fucking human being, man. You know what I mean? It's just
But being,
you know what I mean? I wouldn't be able to fucking do it if there was a fucking, I mean, like even a basket of puppies. Can you imagine that? Yo, we're not allowed to have dogs, no puppies at all, and you're gonna get fined. You're gonna get thrown in jail. So now you got people tossing puppies in the street. You gotta fucking like ignore them and you know, and dying there. You know what I mean? Or because anything living like that.
You got to think about those punishments. Like, I fully feel you 100% on the emotional end of it. But then it seems to be like, you got to remember, they're bred to be this way their entire life. It's stuck in their head. And then same shit, going back to the punishment. Yo, you take that baby home, government comes over, rips the fucking roof off your house. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, even though that's a bit, you're not trying to risk, and it's just, and think about how P was saying before, all those older women, they believed in the policy. So they were looking at it as like, no, that's what happens. All right, they wanted a boy. Okay.
And there was some of them, they said they were crying for days.
How about, you know? And then how about the midwife?
Yo, the angel.
The one that the executioner.
Yeah.
Wait. Which one was that? I'm trying to remember now.
The midwife, the one that said that I must have killed about 60 or 50,000.
Yeah, between 50 and 60,000. She was, but that was the crazy thing. She was the midwife. She delivered Nan-Fu. That was the wild shit. She was the person that brought Nan-Fu into this fucking life. And then Nan-Fu grows up and comes back to interview her about it. It's insane.
Wow. And you did what? Like if I was the second one born, you would have been doing that shit to me.
Yeah,
bro. She got 50 to 60,000 bodies under her belt.
Yep.
That's
bodies.
That's a lot of answering to do to somebody in the
Paid,
afterlife. I would hope so.
Paid for by the Chinese
Yep.
government.
And she's one of the only people that's like,
and that's the only
up.
one. Out of
Right.
one, out of how many?
It's like you flash back to the 1500s when they had hangmen. That was the hangman.
Yeah.
That was your job. You know what I mean? You got
you
paid to kill babies. How do you sleep at night? You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. And her thing was she wanted to correct her wrong by stopping and delivering babies also. So she's like, I want to keep delivering babies. You know what I'm saying? Because of all the bad that I've done, I want to create good. You know what I mean?
I don't know if it worked like that, but I hope it don't. Because that's too many, man. That's too many. At that point, I mean, I don't know.
I feel what you're saying 1,000%. Of course, like I'm not going to be like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, we can go ahead and forgive that. Of course not. But what I will say is I have to give the smallest amount of credit for at least she understands what she did was wrong and is trying to
owning your shit.
Right.
I didn't remember everybody's names in the movie, but there was one of those other nurses that was just like, didn't feel bad about it at all. She was that. Nope. It's just policy.
There was some cold.
This lady at least is like,
holy
fuck, my bad. But there was another girl that was not
the one you talking about. Yeah, the one you was talking about was the one that was emphasizing the policy amongst the village heads. You know what I'm saying? Like she was the one she was the one that was implementing and writing the policies and giving it to the living arrangement people, the head villages and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
She started mad young at like 19.
At 19, she started writing that shit. She started writing
family development or something like that.
Family. Right, something like that. Yeah,
something like that.
You know what I'm saying? And she was the one that wrote it for so many years, and she was the one that was taking pictures with the dictator. You know what I mean? That's the only way I can call him. You know what I mean?
She was right there, the supreme
in the royal family, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
So let's take that scene right there, and let's bring in my man right now, the young boy who started him and his sister was starting to find him and do it and bringing him to orphanages. They did it for free. They said at first we were just doing it. You know what I mean? They were finding babies in the market. He said they would go there every day looking for them, finding them, bringing them to orphanages. Now, their government, if I'm not mistaken, right, own these orphanages, correct?
Yeah.
They're like
they were independent. They were independent orphanages. And the orphanages, but the thing was, the orphanages were the ones saying, "Listen, you want to clean up?" Like basically, they came in. They were like, "Listen, we're gonna get you want to solve it. You know, I know we got this problem. We're gonna do this. People are finding these babies. We're gonna pay them to bring the babies here, and you're gonna pay us to get these babies out."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get them out. You're gonna pay us. You're gonna pay us for that, and we also gonna be getting paid for the people that's gonna pay us to adopt these motherfuckers. Basically, you know what I'm saying?
And that's crazy because I think it was you that said it. If you remember back in the late 80s and 90s, man, those commercials were kind of getting pumped over heavy. Those adoption babies that adopted them. It was crazy. I remember that. I'm like, holy shit! All throughout the whole 80s, man. I remember that.
Think about it.
Yo, my mom.
Chinese babies.
I was telling my mom about what we do. My mom knows a couple that, like, you know, I played fucking Little League with her son, that they adopted 2 Chinese babies during that fucking time. Like,
during that time.
It was that big boom. Paid, you know, and they were saying you pay between 10 and 25,000 per child. But she was saying she had talked to them, and they said it was just you walked in and it was just babies on the floor everywhere, like almost like you would see like a fucking chicken coop. Like it was just. It's
a baby factory.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Child trafficking, bro. Child trafficking. Basically, that's what it was.
And they were doing it legally because they were just saying it's an adoption. You know what I mean? You're adopting them. For the U.S., it was processed in the U.S. But once it crossed over to the Chinese waters, that shit was illegal like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Right.
How we got there was always a mystery.
Because that's what the orphanages is pitching. The orphanage is pitching like, yo, listen, we finding all these babies out here that people don't want. Listen, you know what I mean? We're taking care of them. we have a heart so big that look, we would, we're offering them so, for better living, so here they are. And bullshit.
Right.
Bullshit. They had my man out here finding them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And then, and then what make it so bad that after that, they started locking them up. They locked his whole family up.
That was the crazy thing that I think we do have to broaden that and explain that a little bit more. Is a lot of people and different families were getting into their job was finding the babies and bringing them to the orphanage. Then they started getting paid like $200 a baby. So they were like, okay, now my job is to find babies and take them to the orphanage. But because they were getting paid for it, then the government comes in and goes, you are child trafficking. You are taking children, getting paid.
Wait, the children that y'all rather have tossed in rivers and shit and thrown in and left to die on streets.
Exactly.
That's like, how fucked up does that sound? As a like, how does that even like come across? Like nobody looks at it like, oh my man, how you gonna pitch that to me like that? You know what I mean? Like when you talk, like your government's coming at you like, huh? I'm child trafficking.
Just die. You would rather that they just die in the street, like.
Right, you'd rather have die in the street than we're finding a way to get them. So no, you're child trafficking.
Yeah.
What? So you just don't want people to have kids at all, and just like that's why they're doing those forced fucking,
abortions, forced abortions.
Well, that and what's that? They were forcing sterilization. That was the word.
Sterilization.
Like that's crazy. They're forcing them to sterilize. Yeah. The guy said he fought. Remember the grandfather when he said that too. He said he fought to fucking for her not to get sterilized.
Yeah. That was for the grandson. Yep.
At the beginning, yeah. But no, but this. No, go ahead.
And I was just gonna say, like, you got now these people. Now imagine that 25. What you said? It was like about 25,000 a baby.
It was between 10 and 25,000. That's what they said.
Okay,
I guess it depended on the health. I think.
Just imagine per baby, right? Now, just imagine if they just got over 100,000. They sold 100,000 babies.
Yeah.
Right. That's about 3.2 million on the high end.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Where that money going? Where that money go?
Yeah, I think the government survived. Like that's
it ain't on a. You know what I mean? It ain't go to the fucking orphanages because the orphanages already got it.
You think about it. What if the whole fucking? It almost seems like all right, we got to blow it all up, right? Conspiracy. The whole theory was we got to lie to these niggas about this population thing to have them only have one kid, knowing that they're not going to pay attention and listen and do the shit because they're going to be people still pumping out babies. And those illegal babies, the whole thing was mapped out in a way where we're going to make money off of selling illegal babies.
Yeah.
To put money into the government pocket.
So I think how
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it.
Somebody has a baby, leaves it somewhere. These people find it, get paid to give it to an orphanage. The orphanage gets paid by somebody in America to adopt it, and then the government takes their money as well. And like that's how they funded their country. That's crazy.
They get a cut. And check this out. The country gets the biggest cut. The government.
And look how and think about it. Look how fucking big that country is, man. That was for the whole country.
Yeah.
How big is fucking China?
Supposedly a billion people on file. It's on paper. It's on paper.
Oh man.
1 billion. A B, y'all. That's a B, y'all. Billion with a B.
Right.
Yep.
It's a lot of people, man.
And then that jumps into then homeboy too, who from out here, him and his wife, who was Chinese.
Yeah.
Yep.
Adopted, you know what I mean? And then they started investigating. They started, man, when they put out those fucking pictures, bro, with all those, it really comes to light when you see all those baby pictures with all the, the writing, Chinese writing next to it. Yes. So, you know what I mean? Descriptions and shit. It was like, that catalog was surreal. And, you know what I mean? It's like, when you get into billions, you see it, like, holy shit. There were really thousands and thousands of fucking just abandoned children.
That's another thing. That was what the orphanage did, right? They put out newspapers with all the babies that got dropped off for, and what was it? You had 30 days or something to pick up the baby, and then but the thing that fucked me up about that was all the twins that they said didn't know
got separated.
That was crazy because like whether they lived or died wherever they ended up, it was I guess there's a difference between like knowing that you had somebody that was a brother and passed away, but then there's people that grew up and like they just don't even know that they were a twin. That's fucking. What if you run into them one day? Just like
I used to wish I was a twin.
Yo,
But
that's
imagine
almost
if you
this.
ran into someone that looked
I know.
that was your
That's
twin.
crazy.
Yo, I'd probably have a fucking aneurysm and fall out. You know what I'm saying? You would think you were in the
Yo,
Matrix, bro. You'd think
that's
you'd be
insane,
like,
man.
this isn't real.
China was doing some fucking self-genocide shit, man. They just wanted whoever remained with their families and robots, man.
Yeah.
You're like, yo, you're doing genocide on your own people, bro. It's
You know what I mean?
insane.
And you know,
Control a smaller population.
Yeah.
Because the more people you get, the more opinions you're gonna have. The more, you know what I mean. The more we protest and fuck this shit, man. We ain't, you know what I mean. The shit that's happening now. You got, because you know, 2015 happened. It's like no more one baby child. Those motherfuckers probably start fucking like rabbits. Like, we having mad kids now.
well, yeah. So now you're gonna now since, like you said, that law is passed where they took away the one child rule. Now you can have two. One is one. We figured out. We figured out that one was not enough, but two is too many.
Good. It took 36 years to get two kids.
It took 35 years for them to be like, okay, you can have two.
Yep.
Hey, guess what? Stick around for another 35, you'll get three, niggas.
Maybe you get three. What?
Promises.
And the thing too is, they doing it all over again. The propaganda is starting all over.
They're remixing the song where they said only one is good. I meant to. You know what I'm saying? They're remixing it up.
They got the bandanas out where they had only saying one. Now they're saying two.
Imagine how many movies they have that are now going to come out with a part two.
Oh my God.
So many movies that there's like, we're going to drop part two now. We're going to drop part two.
It makes.
Yo, Raps, if you could hear us, your screen froze.
Yeah.
You like C3PO right now. We got you on.
That's just true.
Yeah, you're frozen. You're in and out flesh wound.
Yo, Raps, have you maybe disconnect and pop back on?
Maybe your phone's low. Probably got low battery.
Sometimes I get the wrong Wi-Fi. It jumps on my other shit.
No, true.
I can hear the audio. There we go. We live?
Yeah, felt like you came back to life a little bit.
I hear you.
You don't see me?
I see you, but
I see you, but you're real choppy. Yeah, you're doing 480 right now. You're not in 1080. You're in 480.
I don't know what the fuck is happening. So I'm gonna call
maybe
back.
360. Maybe you're in 360 right now.
I'm gonna get out of here and come back in.
There we go. We go.
We good? Or you want me to do that?
Yeah. You good right now.
Oh,
You're looking good.
All right.
Pause. You're looking good.
Pause.
All right, nigga. Let me.
Don't move too fast though. Don't move.
Yo, check out this rash I got.
Come on.
Yo, but I want to drop another quote because another thing that Nanfu had said was when she was starting to have her own like realization of what was going on. She said, "quote I wondered if the thoughts I had were my own or if they were just learned." Which I was like, "Yo, that's some fucking face off with yourself shit of like,
right." And
that's what I'm thinking what I really feel, or is this programmed. Like,
right. And that's the shit. And that's the shit that like that's why I feel like it doesn't matter with these statues coming down and shit like that, because people are programmed to be like, no, not the statues, when it's really not that big of a deal. Yeah. You know what I mean? But you're programmed when you have that patriotism kind of like, no, you don't. You know, it's like, no, but it's just a statue at the end of the day. You know what I mean? If somebody finds it offensive and it ain't that big a deal, take the shit down. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. A couple of the other people that, no, go ahead, Pete. You want to say something?
Just because it was just fresh on the brain. I mean, I don't mean to sound like a weirdo, but me personally, just by watching this, right? I just applied it to like what's going on currently here.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, it's a similarity to me where you know you have this thing of a virus where you got people, you got some doctors saying they don't know what it is. You got other doctors saying that it's not so serious. You got other doctors saying that is this, that is that.
Right. Chloroquine's the cure, but it's not.
Right. then they saying how wear mask this, wear mask that, but knowing that mask is really not going to do anything, right? but they still making you forced to wear it. But check this out. Just like the propaganda, just with that, you know what I mean? Just the mind control is what I'm trying to make the point. Just like the mind control,
Yes.
into forcing, you know what I mean, to one. You know what I mean? I mean, yeah, everybody are gonna have their opinions on how they feel on that. You know what I'm saying? Which, you know, I understand too. You know,
I
but
agree,
how?
and I agree fully because I saw that parallel in how the mask right now, and it's funny because there's a whole news clip of everybody saying mask debate because it sounds like masturbate, but that's what it is right now, is the mask debate of and now it's become political. Like, oh, if you wear a mask, you're a pussy, and if you don't wear a mask, and it's like, whoa, like it got too ugly too quick, you know? And but I feel like they're pushing it the same way that, you know, China was kind of just like the shame if you don't do it. I think that's big, you know, because you see people getting into fights in fucking stores over a mask, and if somebody's wearing it, if somebody's not wearing it, people are out there knuckling up.
But it was just amazing, man, because just imagine, bro. Just imagine being on that side of the spectrum.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just imagine if it was you living that life, going through those things. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of put myself there. You know what I mean? Just for a little while, and it's like it's crazy. You know what I mean? It's almost like being outside, but mentally you're in jail.
Yes.
Feel me?
And I think I don't think we know that type of fear here. You know what I mean? Like we don't, like people are cautious here, but we don't really have that. Like, no, I don't think, the government's going to kick in your door and force you to have an abortion right here, right now. Like, dude, we don't know that type of fucking fear. That's
insane. To me, I mean, that's just insane.
You talk about hiding a pregnancy and then hiding a child until they can get old enough to, defend themselves, or what?
Am I back?
Yes.
There we go. Oh, snappy snap. Watermelon looks even clear. Nice. Watermelon's looking clear. I like it.
So
I like it.
We're talking about this documentary, One Child Nation. Razor Raps is back on the line. Young Pastry is back.
Young Pastry. YP, baby.
One of the things too that I really liked was Nanfu's mom before she was going to have, or no, excuse me, not Nanfu's mom. That midwife, the 84-year-old woman that had killed, and aborted. When they were doing the forced abortion, she was the hand that was doing it.
Yep.
She went to a monk to ask advice about how to change her life, and that's when she changed her life. And I'm just saying, like, I wish that was an option for us. Like, because I could say in my personal life right now, I would love to just be like, I wish I could go take like a 3-mile hike, hit up a monk in the woods, and just be like, this is my situation. Tell me what to do. And they just hit you with the illest knowledge ever and are just like, this is what you do with your life now. Boom, go. Because she turned around she was doing abortions. Now she treats couples that have infertility, that thought they couldn't have kids. And now she's, trying to go in the other direction. And of course, she still did some horrible shit. But to go to a monk out in the woods and get some knowledge, then change your life, I'm all about it, man. I thought that shit was dope.
Well, I mean, I think they tried to do it here with the old confession into the booth thing. That was probably.
I always felt like they didn't really give you advice to go forward. It was kind of just like, go say like 6 prayers over there. It was like,
right. So, but I didn't think they didn't. You know what I mean? I just say it like this. I feel you, bro. You know what I mean? Like to just hit up, like, you know what I mean? A Zen sort of like of a person, and just be like, yo, man, through your experiences, this is what's going down, man. What's up? Just to have them, just to pick their brain, man, just to hear what they say. That'd be dope. That'd definitely be dope.
Because that's like somebody that you feel has that like supreme knowledge. They know what's really going on. And that's
and not to cut you off, but the aspect of like inner being kind of level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like in tune with it, oneself, kind of. That's like on a whole other realm, man. That's deep thinking, bro.
Yeah.
I can barely know what socks I'm gonna put on.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Just to even fathom that type of deep thinking, man. It'll be dope.
Yeah.
It'll be dope. YP, let's go, baby. But this documentary had me on some wow, man. That was very educational, man. Real educational, man. I thought, you know, one of them things like where I thought we had it bad, man. Type things.
Yeah, man.
You know,
like I said, this was another one that made me appreciate what I got. And
I don't know what the hell's going on. Zoom has got trigger words, keywords, and shit. They're like, oh, they talking about us. Fuck these niggas.
Yeah.
But yo, let me get some more quotes out here, because when I hear the quotes in the thing, man, I write them down. The midwife that was doing all the abortions, she had said, "We didn't make choices, we just executed orders." You know what I'm saying? Like, and not, of course, that's not an excuse, but that was their thing. And
their mentality, the way of thinking.
Individuals bow to the collective. And that's big in their society. It's the famous JFK quote, "It's not what you can do, it's not whatever." You know what I mean?
Right.
But
we can do for what
you can do for your country.
What,
ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country.
There we go, buddy. Bars.
And so that's what they do, is that the individual bows to the collective, and they're big on shame over there. They're big on influence and respecting your elders, and they're telling you to do this.
Tradition and honor and shit like
exactly.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we were talking about the twins before. That one girl, the twin in the woods that got on the cover of the book, that one was fucking nuts. That
was insane. Yeah.
Just imagine, Raps. Just imagine, right? We all out here, we chilling. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. And you get a call. You're like, oh shit, where the fuck this number from? Pick it up. You pick it up. Same person that looked like you, probably with more little facial hair or something.
Facial time.
Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a little skinnier, you know. Or whatever the case.
Yo,
but the point is, the motherfucker looks like you, you know?
Might be my dreaded days.
Right?
Be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Nigga's a rapper and wears a pastry hat too.
So
just imagine.
So there's this story. I don't know the woman's name, but it was out in a rural area where people thought that they were far enough away from the government to, you know, hide the kids. So people were having babies. They had twins, and then government came out to get them. So they took the older twin, which was interesting too. That's I was like, why'd they take the older one? But go ahead.
I think it was the orphanage. They went out there.
Was it?
I believe.
I forgot who went. Somebody went out there.
I believe.
Oh no!
Because
I don't think it was either. I think it was that village family planning patrol. I think it was
right. It was they're like a DCF kind of like treatment.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They had a unit of people that they called them something. I remember that part. They called them something. Their whatever enforcement.
It was those people for the agency. It was the orphanage people, because they used to come here. We used to sell them. They came and take them, and we used to sell them too. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened with one of the twin, because the other twin got adopted in America.
Right, but I thought it's because they got dimed out, and that's why they ended up going to the orphanage. Right. They got taken and brought into the orphanage. Orphanage didn't go out and execute that. Orphanage just got the babies. They didn't go out and take people. You know what I mean? They just received it. It was like like a group of, it was like a DCF kind of people, like a group like that.
To the orphanage.
They would go, and basically the government hired that group. It's like a government-owned group of people that was the extraction unit to go out there and find people like that.
Yes.
They were the ones that went around, because that was one of the first people that she interviewed in the movie. The guy that, you know, he was super skinny and then he put his shirt on.
Right.
And
he
then
said that was his job. He said he didn't like it.
But I will say, his wife that was sitting there playing cards asking,
how gangster was she, huh?
Cards. But I feel her, because
how gangster was she though?
There is a little bit on the documentary maker. Yo, you probably should have covered those people's faces. I'll be honest with you, because I don't know how China gets down, but this fucking dude, the village officer, is now talking out against the government right now. That's what she has him on camera doing, is talking like, man, I didn't like doing that. You know, I didn't want to do that. And then, I couldn't do that. I still
remember when the old lady said, is he going to be safe? Don't be making him look bad or whatever. You know what I mean?
Don't let him get in trouble. He better not get in trouble. She like, yo, you better not get in trouble, or else your mother gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, she threatening, right? On, you know what I mean? That's a
feel
threat. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. I feel it because I don't know how
yeah.
China gets down with doing a fucking
Right,
documentary about how horrible our shit used to be, and
Right.
that I wonder
Blackball
too.
your whole shit.
I wonder if that's why some of the moms and some of the older people on there were just like, no, it was good, it was okay, because like they might know, like, yeah, you don't talk about no bad about China, you know.
There's some underground. They'll come into your house in the middle of the night and make you disappear, and won't nobody know shit.
For a third time, they will rip your goddamn roof off.
And nobody knows shit. You'll just be like, what happened to so and so? I don't know. We don't talk about it.
Like Big Pun, you know what I'm saying? Remember that skit and the shit where just, hey, nobody sees shit, right?
Right?
Yeah.
That was the back in the back of the act.
Nobody sees shit. Nobody sees shit.
I was in the mantle. I was in the mantle. I was in the place. I was back in the back of the act.
One of them things. One of them scenarios. Yeah. One of them scenarios, man. Yeah.
Yo, but, another one. But yeah, like I said, there was that little thing where a little bit that with the documentary maker, maybe she didn't even think about it, but I'm like, yeah, I don't. You might put a soft blur, something like that.
Right.
But
Right.
It was tough. It's
They said, "Fuck it, go ahead, Prime, put us out there."
Even her own uncle, you know what I'm saying, had to give one up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the big dude with the ball head.
That was interesting too, where they're just like, you don't know somebody that didn't lose somebody. You know, it was everybody.
That she said it was like a collective sadness. She said that's all it was. It's just like they all said the same shit. What we were gonna do? Everybody had to. We had to. Yeah. It was the way. It was the way.
We had no choice.
Yo, and here's another one I wrote down.
No choice.
This was one of the big signs that was spray painted on the side of the thing. Don't get pregnant or give birth without a permit.
Yeah.
That shit doesn't even sound right. That doesn't even sound right.
Put that on a t-shirt. What the fuck is that? Wow. That's
a law in China.
That's right. Hanging up, you know, underneath the street where you walk by and go buy your bread. It's like, okay, you're just constantly reminded everywhere you turn.
Yeah, with a guy and a girl hugging each other.
Yeah, and to have one child. One.
Right. It's like you're born in 82. You went your whole fucking life as being an adult now to realize that maybe it was wrong, guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everything they fucking showed us.
We got off of that twin in the woods, you know, the twin way out in the rural area. That couple that we were talking about earlier that had adopted, and then
the American guy, the couple from Utah, they were from Utah.
Yes. They got involved, and the wife was going out and meeting a bunch of people, and she had mad people spitting in a thing to get their DNA to try to find people and put it in a national database, which I thought was dope.
That was dope. Yeah, she was like, this is a way to find, you know.
The one lady I felt really bad for, who she said she gave her baby away to the traffickers because she thought it would have a better life. That's the woman that she had spit in, and like she was one that didn't do it like last update, but I'm like, man, I hope that she found out, you know.
Right, some closure.
My daughter be 30 right now, you know. Like,
daughter, yeah.
She said I had to give away because she'd have a better life. I couldn't beat her.
Who knows if the daughter would want to hear it these days? But you know, she could be like.
Even though you said that's crazy, you said that. That's crazy you said that, because that was, you know what I mean, because that same couple will find, you know, and say, listen, you know, we found your parents. You know, because they were saying we didn't want to make the instant connection. We wanted to play the middleman just to prep everything up to make sure, you know, and they were surprised on the refusals they were getting on parts of the children. Like they felt so well off, or they felt maybe resentment or I don't know what the hell they felt.
Yeah.
But they were like, nah, I'm good. I don't need to know who my birth parents is. I'm good. I'm good with these people I'm at. Like
said, I'm good.
It's a hell of a box to open. It's a hell because even who knows what their emotion is towards that situation. They honestly might have never even thought about it, and now it's like, hey, you want to go open that door?
Right. And then I think about how many kids that were adopted, they're American now. You know what I'm saying? Like they probably don't even speak Chinese at that point. Now they're going back to try to connect with parents. Right. They're trying to go back and connect with parents and shit that don't even speak English. Now there's a language barrier because some of them didn't learn Chinese. They were adopted by American families. They learned English and they did, the American way.
And that's
now
what
it's
fucked
like
me up about the twin in the woods when eventually she finds out that she has a twin and the twin is still alive and lives in America, and the American twin finds out about her and everything. And then she's interviewing the girl that's still in China and asking her questions like, so like, did you ask her about boom, 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 boom? Pretty much just the normal, like, hey, what the fuck? Like, how's everything going? And she was all like, no, I haven't. And then I was thinking like, yo, but what have they asked each other then? Because everything she was like, yo, did you ask her like, does she ever want to meet you?
She tried to keep it normal. Like, what are you doing today?
Yeah.
How's your weather where you're at? She tried to, you know what I mean?
Like,
try to do
like, yo, we're identical twins.
Right. I want to connect with you and tell me, deep things. Let's go down a rabbit hole together. Twins. You know what I mean? That's just.
But it was crazy because if please watch the documentary, people out there who might be listening. She holds up the picture and she's like, I don't know. I think she kind of looks like me. And then she puts it up and it's like, it's exactly her, but in America.
If I put a part in the middle of my head, stop being coy, honey, like the fish. Listen, you are exactly her. That's identical, boo. That's you right there. You know what I mean?
That was wild.
Yeah, but even if one eyelid or one eye socket can be smaller than the other, or whatever, you still identical.
But she never wanted to reach back out to her though. You know what I mean? So that was.
I think.
They connect, but she just hasn't broken the question of like, yo, let's meet. Broke that ice yet. You know what I mean? Because she asks us like, yo, won't you? You know what I'm saying?
I think it comes from that respect because I think she doesn't want to scare her off, and she's also like, I don't want to intrude, and I'm just like, us. If any of us found out we had a twin, we'd be like, yo, what are you doing tomorrow? Dude?
Yeah, what's up, son?
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're meeting tomorrow. Like, but instead, she's just like, kind of, well, I don't want to bother her. Like, whoa. I understand. Yeah, but that's, culture. It's how they're raised. It's they see it as the last thing they ever want to do is be rude, Right.
It's the norm. Like that's the big thing, respect and loyalty. Honesty,
trying to be like intruding or you know what I'm saying? Like that type of vision in them. You know what I mean? They like to be the one. They don't even want to be seen, kind of thing.
Now, who was it? Wasn't it somebody that they connected with somebody, but then it fell flat? They fell back and said, I don't want to push this any further.
Yeah,
and remember, because there was somebody. Because remember, she's like, I don't know. She said, did you tell the other parents yet that person said they want nothing to do with him? And you know what I mean? And she's like, nah, I don't know how to say that.
Right, she's hurt. That was crazy.
She was like, I don't know how to tell them. Like, yo, I found her, but she don't want nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I try to wait for her to maybe change her mind before I even kind of.
Yo, babe. Taking my car?
How much it go?
Ask her what she would do if she found out she had a twin right now,
What would you do if you found out you had a twin living in, let's say, just Germany? You didn't know about her, and she just happened to find you and just call you and be like, hey, how you doing? I'm your twin sister.
FaceTime.
It's been
FaceTime
about 40 years.
Right.
How would you react?
Shocked.
Yeah. Would you have a lot of questions?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of questions.
Dad did that to me.
Yeah.
He told me he was married before my mom, and I never knew that. And then they said, "Oh, by the way, you have a sister." But they were joking about that part, and I was like hurt and shocked. I was hurt.
You was hurt more than anything.
That's understandable.
Did you get that? Did you get that?
Yeah, I would be hurt too.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got all that? You got all that, guys?
Yeah.
Like, why did they kill me? How could you keep?
But how fucked up is them to fuck with her mind like that? And plus, you got a sister.
Oh yeah.
That's not.
By the way,
even though they were lying about it, but still,
yeah,
it's kind of fucked up. But it's crazy how her dad was married before. That's wild.
That is. I can't believe we just unearthed that real quick on the podcast.
Yeah. Listen, thanks for sharing with the world. Right now.
That was awesome.
They thank you for letting them in your world a little bit.
And if we gonna do that George Bush, if we gotta find any evildoers out there, nigga, send me the Addy. I'm hunting them down. Send me the Addy. I'm hunting them
down. So at the end, it seemed like that the count was somewhere. Where was it for how many children were actually adopted to the U.S.? I feel like I heard two numbers. I thought I heard like 130,000. I also heard like 200,000.
It was something.
I thought it was more. I thought it was more than that. I thought it was more than less than 600,000.
Was it that many?
I think it was a couple.
I thought it was a couple hundred. I thought they said a couple hundred, like 200.
Maybe, so yeah, okay, okay. But just imagine those, huh? Just imagine those, huh? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, my question is where that money at? Where that money at? You know where all that money went to? That 5G bullshit that they got going on over there.
For real, that money went towards their technology, towards everything else.
I'll see you in a little while.
Okay, let's go here. Overall, China has adopted out over 267,000 children. Over 250,000 children. That means 1 in 3 children who came from China came from, China to America. 1 out of 3 kids born in China popped over.
And that time, in 35 years, we're here.
That's
1 out of 3.
Wild. Yeah, I mean, you got to think only 365 days in a year, so
But then they mad at us. But then they mad at us. Why they mad at us for? I'm just kidding, dude. That's a whole nother thing.
Who are they really mad at? Who you really mad at?
Yeah.
But the people of the normal people, they're not really mad. They want to be over here. They're like, no, it's more of a jealousy.
No. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no. You motherfuckers, what y'all take for granted, we want, nigga.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Basically, yeah. You fucking guys are so they're calling us stupid. Like, you fucking guys, if you only fucking knew how great you have it. Yeah. You fucking imbeciles. Right. You know what I mean?
And I'm telling you, and I feel like us doing this, it's making me a fucking better person because I'm learning new things that it's making me more thankful. And
you get an understanding. If you come into a culture, man, you get invited into a culture of a part that you never really like. 1,000,000%. You start putting shit together. Like, damn, maybe that's why certain mannerisms of certain people like. There's a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of that social disconnect, even.
Quick. What about the photographer actually had a fucking baby in a jar?
Yes.
About that?
The artist actually had an embryo in the fucking jar that he took.
He said it was art to see the smiling baby. That's when he said the smiling.
That's what. Yeah. That was a smiling baby in the jar, bro.
That
was crazy, bro. Imagine, you know what I mean? Just imagine, bro. You know what I mean? We're going. We're by the fucking Q Bridge. You know what I'm saying? Taking that right turn, going under the new bridge, New Haven. Yeah. And by the dumpster where Gateway is at and all of that, right? And just on the sides, you see fucking just trash and babies just piled up.
Yeah, just there.
Where?
I'm still trying to imagine going to the fucking flea market on the boulevard and just babies laying around and people walking by him like it's crying babies just sitting there in the sun fucking baking and dying.
Yeah.
That was a big eye opener to me for like just seeing certain things, man. But it is a thing what you do when the culture brings you inside, man, and you get an understanding for like, man, if I was a Chinese resident, man, I'd be fucking trying to go to America too, man.
1,000,000%.
You know what I mean? Can't knock it, but
I think it's tough to actually get information in there, and that's what's happening now is they've progressed so much technology-wise that kids now know, whoa, this shit is different out here. This entire world, like how we're learning about their world, they're learning about our world too.
Exactly. And the internet is big for that, man. They're actually like, no, we don't have to listen to exactly what our government's telling us. It's not the right way. We can look at other ways, the way people do things and see success. So you're not going to sit here and lie to us no more and say, here, eat this shit on the tray. Remember?
And I think there's where we kind of drop the ball a little bit, as in us, meaning like in our ways, it's like how China is and how their dictatorship is going down, communist country and things like that, right? And how we try to set that example of like giving us our liberties and things like that. But then as fucking citizens, you still don't have much liberties though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're pumping with Atlanta the free, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Boom, boom. Yeah, we can do most things that a lot of people can't, you know what I mean, in their own right in governments. But still, you know, we do have our limitations to shit too.
Yeah. And how we
You
were
know what I
speaking
mean?
earlier,
So,
I think
I was just,
with COVID.
right.
You know what I mean?
I just was thinking about a clothing line that you just inspired called Limited Liberty. I don't know. I thought that was really dope, nigga. Like, listen,
Nice.
listen, B, you just giving me like, damn, nigga, just come up with a clothesline of
Fucking
Limited
L's
Liberty.
up. Put
You
your
put your
fucking
fucking L's up, nigga. Come on, man. That's a clothing line right there.
You know what I mean? So I kind of seen the similarities. Like that's a propaganda in itself.
Yeah.
But it's not as big. It's like decoded. It's like blind. It's like how they put it. It's in blind. You know, it's hiding in blind sight.
Yeah.
Right.
In plain sight. Excuse me. It's hiding in plain sight. You know what I mean?
Our government is basically a bunch of magicians.
Ooh, talk
in a
to
sense.
In a sense,
I mean? You know?
Sleight of hand. You don't even know what's going on. Sleight of hand. Where the car go? Oh no, nigga. I'm smiling though because you're showing me cool tricks. But at the end of the day, you're tricking me, nigga. You know what I mean? You're hiding shit on me. You know what I mean? Did you really?
You know,
it's not magic. You're just hiding it.
Well, and to expand on what you were saying, I think it does cross over to COVID, and we saw quickly how quick they can shut shit down as well. With
I was joking, but check this out, and I was going out there just joking with people, bro. Right? Just joking, saying, yo, look how quick we turned into China, and people look at me like, huh? And I'll just elaborate like, yo, look how quick now, you know, we can't go out with it, you know, they're telling us we can't do this, we can't do that. You gotta wear this, like this is like almost like a mini communist situation.
It felt like a tryout. I'll be honest with you. It felt like a tryout because, yo, let me raise my hand and be the first to tell you, I feel weird when I'm not wearing a mask now. I'm there, bro, because I got to wear it at work, and I feel weird when I'm not wearing a mask now.
Exposed.
Like my face feels naked. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
I'm supposed to be wearing a mask. Like
I'm at is
underwear.
I've been getting lightheaded, man. Sometimes when I get real, because I got up right around the bridge. I sweat right here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So with the mask on and with the heat outside, it's a bad combo, man. And it's just like and the mask starts fucking sticking to my face now because I get real sweaty in that area. It's terrible. It's a terrible experience for me, man.
Bro,
me too. I'm not happy with it.
Yeah.
I'm to the point where I'm okay where, you know, going into establishments. All right, cool. I'm cool. You gotta wear it.
As soon as I get outside.
I will not wear it outside. Like I look at people wearing it walking down the street, and I'm looking in my mind, I'm like, are you breathing it right, bro? Like, can you breathe okay?
I don't know. What about the driving in the car with the windows up?
What is that about?
I don't. Yeah, I've seen that, and I'm like, yo, you're the real hero here because you're just gonna pass out at some point. Like, what the fuck?
Like you're contained. Your car is your bubble, bro.
I just pray, man. My thing is, you know, what I'm saying a few things, but my thing is, yo, I just hope and pray that the people, God forbid, if it comes to its worst. If the grand scheme of this conspiracy theory does come to fruition and these motherfuckers is trying to force us into a new world, whatever the fuck, and you know, trying to force us to be whatever the fuck they want us, and our individuality is gonna get stripped, you know, taken. I just hope
limited liberty
that we, you know what I mean? I just hope that we all just be like, yo, fuck this shit. We're not going for it. And collectively stand. Because we outnumber these motherfuckers a whole lot to a whole bunch of nothing. Like we out, like us, the normal person, we outnumber these motherfuckers. Man.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. So if we was to form and
it had to be a very organized thing, you know what I mean? Because I think when people sometimes get together, it becomes very unorganized. Which you'll see a lot of Black Lives Matter movement. Some of these guys are very unorganized of where they're aiming, what they're trying to get across. It's not really.
Yo, the Black Lives Matter has become like a little bit watered down, like the Wu-Tang logo. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like, yo, there should only be certain people using that Black Lives Matter thing because then when you got people
just running with
down,
it.
That's why I switched the narrative. I never used that narrative to begin with, and rap to tell you, I never liked that narrative. My thing is more. My thing is, you know what I'm saying. I say my own. I say Black people are important. You know what I mean? I don't follow that because the main guy that started, he's not right. He wasn't, his intentions wasn't right. You know what I mean? And I keep forgetting this dude's name, but you know what I mean? I was the who was telling me and who was putting me on was Rich Coke.
Yep.
And he was putting me on, and he was telling me, look, and because at first he would be the one going against the grain, saying, nah, fuck this, and then I'm be like, yo, but what's up? He's like, this is what's up, this is why, and I'm like, oh, okay. He showed me, and I'm like, oh, all right, so cool. You know what I mean? The guy's corrupted. You know what I'm saying? And his main, well, his belief wasn't about really that. It was something all different. You know what I mean? And
more of a
for me, that's
different militant approach.
Like, you know what I mean? So I get the message. The message, yes, but I'm not gonna use that. I'm going. Black people are important.
What? Right. It's just an umbrella at this point. That's far beyond trying to like take away. That's just the umbrella. But like I said, the whole thing is that people that are like anything else. Not all Muslims are fucking fucked up people, man. But you got your radicals running with the Muslim, belief and traditions, and saying this is my belief and this and this is what we believe and this is what we're doing. So now you get confused of like, yo, all Muslims is about that shit. Like, no, there's radicalists within the Muslim community that are about that shit. But it makes all Muslims look a certain way, man. It's like in the hood.
Yeah, my bad. I didn't mean to bring it off topic, that. But
no. But it's all just comes around to shit. Your country's fucked up just like mine is, man.
Right. Basically,
at the end of the day, it breaks it down to like, man, it gives me a different understanding for the people of China, man, and some of the shit that the common folk have to deal with, just like we do, man. You know what I mean?
Deeper appreciation. You're absolutely right. It definitely.
And I think it does speak to the power of people and to the resolve to keep moving forward. You know what I mean?
Right.
Of like, all of them have PTSD. Imagine that, bro. The entire country has PTSD. Nobody goes through that and is just like, all right, fuck it, I'm Wolverine.
Right.
I'm this shit off.
Yo, they need one big giant ass motherfucking meeting. They need a recovery meeting, nigga. Just one big.
They need Will Smith to go on a mountain and say, "Look at this right here, y'all."
Right, but have him do it on camera and then put it in a motherfucking football stadium, and I mean football, FUT.
Yeah.
Stadium with all the motherfuckers packed in there, and just get one big counseling session and drones, nigga. You know what I mean? Because shit is, it's like they need it, man. Like that shit is. That's what you can see from their demeanors.
In my head, it's amazing. It sounds like the halftime show at the Super Bowl with fucking Lady Gaga.
Right, but everybody's just like, everybody's fucking arm locked. You know what I mean? Shoulder to shoulder, they're fucking swaying, and there's a lot of good kumbaya going on, man. That's all I'm saying.
I love it.
I think that it really set some people souls on fire. But I think with the younger generation now, with them being so exposed to things around the world, and compassion can sink in and don't have to be force-fed from the government a certain way, that they can have that, conscious way of thinking, you know what I mean? Which is, I think, is good for their country, man. And, China just said, hey, look, y'all trying to get stupid? We're going to drop a pandemic. Maybe. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. It seemed crazy because they started revolting over there. They started like, yo, fuck this. I'm tired of this shit. They're running the streets for months, looting for months. I said, how can we shut this down? Oh, yo, spread the pandemic, B. Let's get this shit popping.
Start dragging people into vans and shit. Yeah. And, well, like P said, with the whole, if the shit's true with the entire, if everybody's trying to run the world, then when you get people protesting, it does one of two things. It either goes, oh, wow, these people are too powerful, we got to stop, or, oh, shit, it's about to go down, let's go for a fucking broke. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
you could tell when it
could be broke,
Right. It's just like the tug of war. When the tug of war happens, you feel it. You feel the give. You feel the give. Oh, we got them on the run. The hills are sliding. The hills are sliding. Pull. They can pull. You know what I'm saying?
So that's when they pull out the big guns. Like,
right.
I'm telling you, between now and our election, shit's gonna get crazy. I'm thinking about covering fucking Wyclef because I believe COVID's gonna be gone in November. It'll be gone in November.
I'm saying the same shit. I'm saying the same shit.
Wait, honestly, that's gonna be this. It's this miracle fucking drug that. Hey, it knocks it right out.
It's a reason why he's saying that. It's a reason why this dude is saying this. It's just gonna disappear, guys.
Yo, you gotta remember, they stop reporting about it on the news tomorrow. You'd think it was over tomorrow. If the only news about it was on the fucking internet when you have to go and look for it, you'd think it'd be over tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, so as soon as they stop reporting about it, it's over. You know?
Right.
Yeah, it might not be over in real life, but when nobody's paying attention to it anymore, like people forgot that people have been in the streets protesting. It never stopped since George Floyd died. It's been happening the entire time, and like people are now like coming back around. I'm like, oh, it's still going down. Oh shit! You know, like they thought it was. We're doing this for a weekend. Coachella's canceled. Let's do this.
Right.
And
no,
it's
still. That's why I say it's something different.
There
are
those type of people that were doing it in that mindset though. Let's not get it fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, you had those people.
Because there's people that there's negative people that just want to find something to put their shit into. You know what I'm saying? Like, give me something to direct my energy towards that. I don't give a fuck energy. Oh, y'all about something? We want to break shit? Let me be the first to throw a brick through a window, nigga.
Yeah.
Let me be you know what I mean? Like, you ain't out there for the right reason. You out there for your own anger to release and hide behind a blanket of people. You know what I mean? It's pretty fucked up if you think about it. Like, I don't really give a fuck about the movement and what's going on. I'm trying to get some free TVs out of Target.
Yeah, right. I want to release my anger.
Right.
On what
Come on,
man. I'm mad at.
I talked to a young boy that I know. He was working at Walmart, and I knew him. And then around the time, I was like, when all it was going down, I said, yo, be careful, man. You in the department store, shit get crazy, man. Get the fuck out of here. Don't try to be out here fighting for Walmart products, nigga. He was like, yo, I'll be honest with you, Unc, man. I'll be honest with you. Shit go down. I'm grabbing shit, B. I'm out. I'm grabbing shit. I'm taking mad shit. I'm just like, that's that. Like, come on, man. But it's the young boy shit, you know what I mean? It's like, come on, young fella. You know what I mean? What we doing right now?
Just do what's right, man. Just do what's right. You know what I mean?
Get the fuck out of here.
And that's what I've been saying. And that's what I've been saying all along too. Like, you know what I mean? Let's stop being the loud guy in the room, yelling at, yo, look at me, I'm making noise, look at me, be the loud mouth in the room and get the attention. And then, okay, now the attention's there. Now let's do something. You know what I mean? Let's not let it pass. You know what I mean? Let's see.
I think it happened. So I think what it was too was like things have been going on for a while. You know what I mean? The last so many years, you know what I mean? You go all the way back to all the incidents, you know what I mean? All the names, And then this one here, it was so visually impactful that it woke a lot of people up to a sense. It's like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? And now they're just like, we gotta run in there. We gotta save the house on fire. That nigga had been smoking. You know what I'm saying? Like
smoldering.
But now you see the fire, but now you're running in there without a cup of fucking water and an idea or a plan on how to put the fire out. You just know you got to get to that fire to do something, but you have no fucking plan of what you're doing. And it almost seems like there's people just doing that. And let's just run in there. But yo, have a fucking plan. But don't
everything
just run in
has to everything needs order, man. Everything needs order.
You know what I mean? It's like go into these things that people don't go to. These fucking things that they do provide. Your local government fucking open house things at your city hall. You got to go there. You got to make noise at your local places and start there to work your way up. You know what I'm saying? You got to start local government, man. It's harder to go straight to the top unless you have a strong something you're going straight to the top with, which you can. You know what I mean? But it's got to be a strong. In order to go to government, it's like here's your packet for your city, all right? Here's the package you need for your state. All right, it's just the government pack, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the size of maybe even bigger. You know what I mean? You need a lot of ammo when you go in to try to get something changed within the government. You need a lot of substance. You need a lot of presentation. You need a lot of shit that and an idea of what's wrong, how you see it wrong, and what you have as an idea of how to fix it and how it could work so everybody's happy.
And that's the most important part is your idea to change it, in my opinion, because we can go forever until the end of time proving that racism exists. We've done it. We don't need to prove it anymore. So now we need to figure out how to attack it and how to solve it. And I think everyone's still stuck on like, that was racist, that, oh my God, everything's racist. But like, all right, so now how do we change it? Because I don't know the answer either, but I'm like, that's what I think needs to happen moving forward. And I believe all this happened. Everyone got the attention, but then nobody had the plan.
Nobody's not right. Nobody expected to them to be like, okay, you want the microphone?
But China finally stood up, and good for China standing up. It took 36 years, but they finally got that shit knocked down. But they only got 2 kids, so all that time to just only get 2 now.
And now it's just on repeat. The whole shit is all over again.
Change the channel. We're doing this now.
Right. It's the part 2.
Now
Hot Shots Part 2.
That's all it was, because when they ended it, I'm like, no, they didn't. No, they're not. Because I'm saying, yo, like that's like they're doing it. And the funny thing is the older people, the people that weren't doing it back then, are probably the same motherfuckers doing it now.
Yep.
Just
older.
older.
Like young people, you gotta get in that. You gotta get in your government. They gotta put a monkey wrench over there within their government and pry a couple of doors open, man, and pop the cell blocks. You know what I'm saying? They gotta.
It's gonna be before that happens. It's got to be a civil war before that happens. Like the people are gonna have to.
They have to uprise.
Uprise over their government and take over their government and say, listen,
right, we're not standing for it no more.
Yeah,
it's like the only way they understand is through force of submission. You know what I mean? Force me, nigga. Force me to submit. And you know what I'm saying? And you got me. You know what I mean? If you force me like you got that. You got, and with the Brooklyn Joe, my man, yo, you got that. And my man Brooklyn Joe, you got that. You got that, daddy. You know what I mean? You force him into that. You know what I mean? I think it was best said in Gladiator. Win the people, win your freedom, man. I think he said that in Gladiator. Russell was said to him.
R.C. Cola.
The man told him when he was fighting in the underground arena on Gladiator, he said, you want your freedom? Win the people, man. The people are your key to freedom. The people in China, you are the key to your own fucking freedom is basically what I'm saying, folks. Be your freedom. T-shirt.
Bro, I see the watermelon spin.
Oh, did you see the
watermelon thoughts?
I'm spitting seeds, B.
Let it grow. Let one grow.
But all in all, I guess it's a good time to do the rating scale. You know what I mean? This is something new. We getting popping over here where we are going to get a gourd rating between pumpkins, watermelons, and canepas. But I guess canepa's not a gourd, so we're just going to go with a fruit. Fruit and veggies. So I'm going to start it off since my man, Lil Mattress, this was your presentation. You can start off with your ranking and why you gave it what you gave it.
Okay.
Out of five pumpkins.
Out of 5 pumpkins, I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5 pumpkins. The reason why I got to take one off is because of I got a feeling that some of the people that we watched on that video might not be alive today. That's just my like
bad creator's sense of.
I don't know if it was necessarily the most responsible journalism. Like, I don't know. But other than that, man, I thought it was amazing. I was really happy. It opened my eyes to something I had no clue about, and had only kind of like heard in the background. Like everyone's heard of it, but I never fucking dove in and figured out what it was and
what it was really about. Because we go into, it's an American arrogance. We do that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Ooh, American arrogance. That's a clothing line right there. American arrogance.
Double A. Woof. 2 A's, nigga. American arrogance, because that's what we do, man.
For me, 4 out of 5. I loved it. Like I said, just a little. It might have been a little irresponsible, but give me 10 more just like it.
Right. Nah, I hear that, man. For me personally, I'm gonna give it out of 5 watermelons. I'm gonna give it 4.5, man. I guess I'll take a half off. I mean, it was such an awakening thing of it all. Maybe the half would just be for me having to eat a bowl of chips and missing a couple of subtitles that I had to keep rewinding. That might have been my half a move. And then I guess follow-ups. I don't know. I don't know what year was that. Did that come out? Anyways, is this
that
new?
Came out at the end of 2019.
Oh wow. Okay, so I think a follow-up to a lot of this is going to be a key for me to understand. I felt left with open-ended questions, but yet a whole lot of answered questions. So the half a point was just for me having to keep rewinding when I missed something. And that's just from a language barrier. No, nothing else. You know what I'm saying? But 4.5 waters. You know what I mean? I give on that. Nice. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with 4.5 canepas. You know what I'm saying?
4.5 canepas. Wait, can you cut a canepa in half?
You can.
There's a pit inside the middle.
If you're strong enough.
You can. It's just gotta be frozen. You know what I'm saying? So you can.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Truth.
4.5. You know, my half was because, just because the way the government in my, because like I forward thought it, and I'm just thinking like, yo, this shit is crazy. You know what I mean? I was thinking about 5, but then again, I'm like, again, like all the reasons why you guys are saying, that, it was not, the forward thinking and doing this documentary of the safe of the people that they interviewed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe she did, but the way she presented it was kind of crazy. You know what I mean? And then again, I was also finding myself, rewinding and saying, well, hold up, what they say? You know what I mean? And things like that. But as an entirety, though, it was very educational, very, very inspirational. You know what I mean? It was it made me also be grateful, man. You know what I mean? Of the things that I have with me, because I also complain about not having shit. And why, this is going the way it is going, and why the fuck this and it's fucking cars, that and it's all this other shit. But then I sat down and looked at that, and then I just brought me to another different mindset to be like, what? Wow, like you over here complaining about your fucking car and not having this. These motherfuckers are dying. Like babies don't even have that thought of life, even got the chance to live. You know what I mean? Because of their government and doing
they had
that.
no choice but to be here. They were put here by no choice and left to die.
And just being able, and I'm also grateful just to be able to have that insight to see what they was going through. You know what I mean? I give a lot of props to that girl though, to doing what she did. You know what I'm saying? And having the courage to do that. You know what I'm saying? And make that film. You know what I mean? And also put her family on the line because she got her baby out. You know what I mean?
She's got a baby, and I believe is she still living out there? Is she living out there?
No, she's out here. She's out here, but she was going back. She was going back. You know what I mean? Back and forth. You know what I mean? So now her baby is exposed and things like that. So all prayers and things like that to all those people out there. You know what I mean? Hopefully their situation get better. You know what I mean? But yeah, 4.5 Canepas. You know what I'm saying?
4.5 Canepas. Respect.
It was good. It was good.
Right. And respect to all those people that adopted, you know what I mean, those babies and gave them chances.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
That's a beautiful thing to pull a kid from even just adopt a child, but then you're adopting a child from a whole other country. You know what I mean? Well, I mean, it's a baby, so at that point, your language is going to be what the child knows.
I mean, at this point,
explaining to that child when they're older what the hell they went through is something, you're going to have to deal with.
I think at this point, at this point now, they're in their 30s, what we're going to say, right? The people that got adopted, we could assume they're just like in their 30s. Yep. So the people that adopted them, I think at this point, maybe they're figuring out that they got bamboozled, but you know what? To them, they're like, so what?
We still saved a life.
Right. They're like, we still did a greater deed. You know what I'm saying?
Think about how many people are going to watch that documentary that have been adopted and be like, Dad? Yeah. I know I was adopted, but was I one of the babies they tossed out? Or did you know what I mean? Because remember, they lied about a lot of the stories of who adopted them.
Of course.
But they painted big stories and beautiful stories.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
they paid people to pretend to give ratings.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like the people that adopted them are getting this sob story. You know what I mean? That, because that's what the lady uncovered, how they were telling them that it was this, but they're telling them
playing that on the American heart, man. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Middle-aged lady from the fucking suburbs.
That family, they say that. All right, go. They got the next family running the same spiel, so it was the same routine, same thing, just different families, and they didn't know. You know what I mean? They don't know. All they know is hearing this story
I saved you, and this is the storytelling. But now I'm thinking it's like, hey, let me revisit that story you told me. Is there anything like you think might have happened, like that story was wrong that you were told, or were you lying to me about the story and you knew all along? Like you could see the whole kind of turmoil that can happen all around with
it go either
the 200-something thousand kids that were adopted out of that country.
That's a lot of fucking people, bro.
I bet you there's also a lot of probably like Facebook groups and shit out there of everybody now converging and being like, wait, what story were you told? What story were you told?
Right.
Holy
or that database that the guy would
that open database,
right. Start popping shit in there, and they'll start finding each other and finding families.
How many? Yo. Makes you think, right?
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
All the people, Chinatown in New York, Chinatown in San Francisco. You know what I'm saying?
Transplanted and started anew.
Well, been out here since '91. Oh yeah. Yeah, an old crooked American
detective on him.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Are you part of the? Are you one of the 200? Are you part of 200?
Yeah. You part of the 200? Are you one of the 2? Wow.
Yeah.
One of 2.
That's amazing.
All in all, it was a great one, man.
I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah. So who's up this week? Who's got it? I mean, I had somebody pinned on the side. Is you guys got some? I don't know what rotation on.